All right, hello enrichment. So this is the preview for the start of Module 3. So first thing we're going to do is look at the x-axis that's shown. And what you're going to do is you're going to lightly color in all of the areas on the graph that the line or the curve covers from left to right. So left to right. Then we're going to write the numbers from our x-axis. So looking at this first example that has already been done, we started highlighting here and we went all the way to highlight to the end of our graph. Now look at this. This graph starts highlighting right here, which is -7 on our x-axis. So from the left, we started at -7. We went all the way to the right side here, which ends at the number 6, right? That's where our graph ends, and that's where we get this number 6. So let's look at the next one here. Looking at number 1, when I start coloring in my graph, we start right here, and then I shade all the way up until this point. Now looking at these numbers that are right here, we are going from -5, that's where we start, all the way to this point right here, which is 5. And again, we have to go from the left to the right. That's how we read x-axis graphs. So I want you to go through and I want you to try 2, 3, and 4 on your own. See how you do. All right, did you try it on your own? I hope so, because here are the answers. So in number 2, this goes all the way from -7 to +2. Number 3 goes all the way from -4 to +5. Number 4 goes from 0 to 7, and again, left to right. Now what we just did, or what this, technically what we just did, is we found the domain. That's a new vocab word. We found the domain with the x-axis. That's what we just did. That's what this axis is called. It's called the x-axis, remember? And that's how you find domain. Domain is always with the x-axis. So now let's look at page 2. And this is graphs with just the y-axis shown. So again, we're going to lightly color in, but this time we're going to go from the bottom to the top, right? Because again, look in here, we go from negative to positive numbers. And I say again because that's technically what we did last time. When you go from left to right, you go from negative to positive numbers. You go from the smaller side all the way to the bigger side. And that's how the y-axis goes too, except this time it's from bottom to top. Smaller numbers are on the bottom, larger numbers are at the top. So in this particular example here that we got, this one starts at the bottom at -5, but we're not going to go to this point. This isn't the tippiest top, right? We're going from the bottomest bottom to the tippiest top. Here is the tippiest top of this graph, which is at 2. Do not use the dot. I have someone do it every year. This goes all the way to the tippy top of 2. So of the bottomest bottom to the tippiest top. So looking at number 1 here of our examples, okay? I start from my bottomest bottom and I shade all the way up to my tippiest top. My bottomest bottom in this case was -6, and I went all the way to my tippiest top of 0. So why don't you try 2, 3, and 4 on your own and see how you do? Again, try it. See how you do. Bottom to top. All right, did you try it on your own? I hope you did. Hopefully we got the same answers. So in number 2, our bottomest bottom was here at -2, and it went all the way up to +8. In number 3 here, our bottomest bottom was at -1, and our tippiest top was at 8. In number 4, our bottomest bottom was at -8, and our tippiest top was at -3. So the information that we did here, okay, what we found was the range. That's a new vocab word, the range. and that's with the y-axis. Okay, so x-axis we said was the domain. That was the new vocab word. Y-axis is called the range. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at figuring out left to right and bottom to top at the same time. And these numbers are kind of like the borders that go around the graph. Okay, so like in this example that's already completed, right? Going from the left here to the right, all the way from the left to the right, we go from -4 to 7. Then going from the bottomest part of the graph to the tippiest top of the graph, we go from -6 to 2. And I want you to draw it like the rectangle it looks like. Okay, so let's see how you do. Let's see how you do for number 1 and number 2. Draw the borders just like how I did in this example. Left to right, figure out your numbers. Bottom to top, figure out your numbers. All right, good luck. All right, here we go. I hope you tried it. See if you got the same thing. So looking at number 1 here, how did I get -8 to -1? Well, what I highlighted in purple was the leftist side of our graph, which was at -8. The rightest side of our graph went to -1. So that's how we get -8 to -1. In blue was bottom to top. So in blue at the bottom, that was a 1. At the top, that is a 6. Okay, remember, going bottom to top, this is your Y's. Left to right is your X's. So left to right again is our X's, the purple. So in purple, my leftist side was at -7. My rightist side was at 8. So that's how I get -7 to 8. The bottomest was here at 2. And you can even follow the dot here. Both of those are at 2. The tippiest top was here at 5. So that's how we go from -2 to 5. All right, that's all of our notes today. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.